No. Starlight lied to you just now. She did. I don't make mistakes. I'm not just like the rest of you. I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better. I am better. I'm not some weak-kneed fucking crybaby that goes around fucking apologizing all the time.
Spoiler warning throughout this video. I'm going to be talking a lot about season 3 of The Boys, at least to an extent that there's spoilers, and just the show in general. But if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a great show. I see a lot of people online and here on YouTube talking about how The Boys is such an astonishing show with one of the best villains we've ever seen in Homelander, which, without a doubt, that's true. Not only with how threatening and maniacal he is, or how cool he even appears, or how incredible of a performance Anthony Starr gives as Homelander. Truly just phenomenal, that man is. While all those things make him an amazing villain, one thing about him stands out to me that I can say about other villains. Something he makes me feel that I haven't seen anyone else say. I have empathy for him. Yes, I have empathy for Homelander, one of the most diabolical men we've seen in recent film. But why? Why would anyone feel sympathy for such the villain? Let alone one as evil as him. And he is. He's an evil man. Well, let's start by looking at what it means to be empathetic. Empathy, by definition, is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. To show someone empathy is to feel bad for the situation while not having experienced it for yourself. For example, if your friend is being bullied, but you haven't been bullied yourself, you try to empathize with them to make them feel better. Now, this feeling of empathy comes from a place of feeling bad for someone or believing what's happened to said person is undeserved. Why and how could I or anyone feel these emotions towards Homelander after seeing what he's capable of and what he's done multiple times throughout the show? Well, what makes Homelander such a great villain is how well he's written. Obviously, you know that. Everyone knows that. It's all anyone can talk about. But what about how he's written makes me have empathy for him? As you go through the seasons of The Boys, we see more and more of Homelander's past is shown to us, it's told to us. How, as a child, he never had any affection or gratitude given to him. He doesn't have a father, a mother. He has a creator.
It's not how it works. I had to learn. Only I didn't have anyone to teach me because the doctors, the people that raised me were scared of me, so they kept their distance. And I had to figure it all out by myself.
And like most creations, they become monsters. He was always told he's the strongest man alive. He's a god among men. Yet he still struggles with human emotions. His anger is that of a child. His ability to comprehend love evolves throughout the show, almost through stages that we can see. Starting with almost like a childlike love with Vought CEO Madeline Stillwell. He loves her like a mother, but in a really fucked up way. His love for her almost refers to Sigmund Freud's Oedipus complex. This complex is the idea that every child goes through a stage in their life in which they want to get rid of their same-gendered parent so they can be intimate with the other parent sexually. Mainly the theory refers to a boy trying to be intimate with his mother. Now, this, I would like to disclose, this is not a confirmed or anything. Like, it is Sigmund Freud. He's a very smart man, but he was a very messed up man who also had some things with his mother, so take that with a grain of salt. It's a very weird situation, obviously, and Sigmund Freud's a pretty disturbed human being. After his relationship with Madeline, he kills her and he finds Stormfront. His relationship with Stormfront is almost that of a rebellious teenager, wanting to hang out with Stormfront all the time, having sex with her all the time, and being pushed to do more and more heinous things, as Stormfront is that of a bad influence on him, almost like a teenage relationship, and Stormfront's just also a Nazi, so that doesn't help.
They believe in it. They just don't like the word Nazi. That's all.
Now, I bring these scenarios up about his development of love because his lack of a guardian to help him understand and act properly when facing these difficult emotions is apparent and truly unfortunate because it almost seems avoidable when looking at the situation. A big theme throughout the show is that the person doing whatever they're doing is they always have a choice. However, Homelander is almost a walking rebuttal to that theme. While yes, he does have the choice not to kill the people he does, he really never had a choice to understand what it means to value life and human emotion to the extent that he should be given the right to. All his life he's been told he's a god, he's better than everyone else, how amazing he is, how to be loved as a public figure is to truly be loved. Then everyone who's ever told him those things was lying to him. They were scared of him and they hated him. A boy trapped in a god's body hasn't been given the chance to understand trust or love. This complex level of character design and writing, in my opinion, separates the great villains from the iconic, the S from the A. I believe that empathy, or sympathy for that matter, is not necessary, but a great thing a villain can almost have to make the audience more engaged, attached to the villain, and even the villain can use them as a weapon sometimes in cases. A great example of a villain I'd feel sympathy for, and that many people even agreed with on the internet for a long time when it came out, was Joaquin Phoenix's adaptation of the Joker. His story of a man with a lot of family issues, mental anxiety, and mental issues, and then being beat down by society to a breaking point is something so many people could understand and resonate with. Some and many of us have even experienced this to a degree. While thankfully we don't have many people going full Joker on us, it's something that does happen sometimes. Unfortunately, they feel pressure by society and they break, and this stuff does happen. A lot of people do feel the pressures of society breaking down on them, failing them. Todd Phillips and Scott Silver did such an amazing job writing a character for us to sympathize with that people on the internet for a while had to be reminded the Joker wasn't the good guy. What he did wasn't justified, and none of what a villain should do should be justifiable. That's why they're the villains, and that's what makes them evil. The heinous things that they do, and how unredeemable they are. So we've looked at a great villain who we sympathize for, and one we empathize with. But what about a villain who we really don't feel either for, but is still great? Marvel obviously isn't on the same level of tone as the Joker or Homelander. They're both much more serious, and Marvel's a lot of jokes.
You gonna get another haircut?
Listen for a face.
Now that's funny.
However, there was a time where many people thought the best cinematic villain was Thanos. I won't say of all time, but he was definitely up there. He was highly regarded as a great villain, and I would still say he is. And while Thanos is a great villain, we don't empathize or sympathize with him. We are never like, yeah, okay, I kind of get where he's coming from to think that way. While his motivation as a villain makes sense, yeah, less people equals more resources to use, but we really don't see why he would do that in a way that makes sense to him personally. His planet lost people and was very poor and had world hunger to his extent because they didn't have enough resources and overpopulated. So he just thought he needs to kill people? It's a very easy fix. All you need to do is say his family was personally affected. Rather than make him a weirdo who'd write a manifesto, he would be a broken man with a plan to make sure no one experiences what he experiences. And yes, while it's an evil thing, it's something the audience could almost understand where he's coming from. Homelander, in my opinion, is the best villain I've ever seen. Acting and writing, he is something truly evil and despicable, and I love it. I still understand where he comes from. This villain was never given a chance at real love, at a real childhood, so for that, I have empathy for him. But while having that empathy for him, I'm also aware he doesn't entirely deserve it, if at all. I almost hate the fact that I have empathy for such an evil person. Someone who manipulates people, mutilates them for fun, kills children with no remorse. He has my empathy. My hateful empathy.
It was a bunch of condos.
So what if I took you to a house you'd never seen before, full of photos of parents you never met, toys you never played with, Hardy Boy books that you never read? And then I asked you how much all that fake fucking bullshit meant to you. How would that make you feel?
Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit different than what I usually upload, and it'll probably take a little bit more time to come out, but I really thought I wanted to make this video, so I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you again for watching. Have a good day.
it.